In the last few days, something has shifted in me where I have this newfound confidence about my own experiences related to my stepdad, which I've been talking about on here for a while, and I feel like you guys probably see the more confident side of me when I'm talking about these things because when I'm in more self doubt about them, I'm not gonna like make a video and jump on here. Like, it's just not, I don't know, it's just not, it doesn't feel natural to do that. And for years and years and years, and not just with that, with like that type of trauma, but with like other traumas I have too, it's felt like there is this like discrepancy between like what I kind of want to say what I know to be true, but like what I guess part of me knows to be true versus what this other part of my brain would like really, really try to like discredit what I knew, like discredit my feelings and my experiences to try to get them to align with, I think mostly like what I think is like a socially acceptable narrative or like what I think would have been accepted by like my family. And I think that basically what I tried to get myself to believe as a kid and really until very, very recently was that my stepdad would say inappropriate things. Like there was no denying that, like because it happened so much, but that it was just from kind of a socially ignorant place, like that this idea that like, well, it sounds creepy, but he's actually just doesn't have a filter and he's just noticing, like. And I always knew on some level, some part of me always knew that like that just wasn't true. Like people don't make comments about preteen and young teen girls' bodies on a routine basis, specifically their chest, their hips, their butt, unless that is motivated by some sort of sexual thing. Like it, people just don't do that. And a large part of me do that. And a large part of me, even though I tried really hard to not believe that, I couldn't escape feeling that threat. I felt the anxiety so deeply of living with somebody like that. And when comments would be made, it like rung my bell so much. And yet I tried so hard to essentially gaslight myself about those reactions, that I was just too sensitive. I was overreacting, that kind of my sense of threat was incorrect. And then even in adulthood, like once I got to where I would like look back and think like, man, that was like really screwed up, and like it makes sense that I was like really upset by being treated that way and all of those things. Like I still, when I would think back to it and kind of have any of those like memories or feelings triggered, I would still have this really like loud like trauma brain come out and try to gaslight me and try to find ways to blame myself, try to like silence that myself and try to push myself away from really facing and seeing that like that was super painful and super damaging and super scary, and that basically that young version of myself was always right in the sense of disgust and threat and fear that I felt related to all of those things. Like, I never overreacted to any of it. Like, it was really screwed up. And yeah, it's like, while part of me has kind of, to some degree, always known this, it's like something just in the last few days is like that part of me feels so much more confident, and that the part of myself that would typically gaslight myself when I started thinking about these things is so much quieter. Like it's at times when I'm talking about this and like it doesn't even come up at all. Like it's just at sometimes it's just been completely silenced.